Yep, we're back. Hey, everybody. Welcome, all you internet peoples. Hopefully somebody will jump on here in a minute. This is Mike from Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in a kind of poopy day. Rainy, thunderstorms, blah, 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 blah. Just the way it goes. The weather can't be perfect all the time. Oh, hey, Mr. Jan Michael, how are you, sir? This phone does something different every time I pick it up. I just thought I'd catch y'all up right quick on our, I don't know what this phone is saying to me, on our 65 gt350 Cobra. It's a resto mod, Jan Michael, and it's a clone. It's a 6-speed with a 302 in it. It's still bad to the bone. Hey, Rick. You were just here, Rick. Rick's our owner, Jan Michael. I hear you, brother. I hear you. But I think I did a video the other day where we finished the hood. Hey, David King, what's going on here? Is this thing still going? Push the wrong button somewhere. I don't know what I don't know what I did here. Is this thing still running? Rick, is it still, am I still live? I can't tell here what I've done. I can't tell what I've done. And it doesn't tell me if I'm still going or not. I don't know how to do these things. Okay, well, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I'll keep going. Maybe it's working. Then we finished the roof. Oh boy. It was a wee bit stubborn. And then finished up the trunk deck and all these horizontal areas. And folks, I'm telling you what, this is not paint enhancement, folks. This is paint correction. There's a difference. I like the way these stripes turned out. These stripes are painted on, folks, which makes it, I guess, better and cleared over. You can barely tell the transition there. In fact, I can't even feel it right now. But different buffers, different pads, different products. My initial one-step plan, that did not work out to my satisfaction. So I swapped over to using, you can see down there, a rotary buffer with a wool pad and an interface pad. Interface pad is a little cushion that goes between your polishing pad and your backing plate. That one's a vented one. And I was also using this little bad boy here, this little Flex dual action polisher. A lot of times, hey, Mr. Mark. Wow, a lot of people jumping on. I figured everybody'd be at work. A lot of times I was using this 3-inch backing plate with that's a soft final polishing black pad from Lake Country, along with these different pads. That's a much smaller one because you can change these rather quickly. You can change sizes. These different things here, I forget what you call them, they just snap in and snap out. And for example, the one that's on here now is a 12mm throw. You can go down to a 3mm throw. This little one right here changes it over to a rotary polisher when you need to hit some small areas. And sometimes I do the rotary finishing. That's a 1-inch Lake Country pad. That's actually, I think, a 2-inch, but I still use it on the 1-inch backing plate to get a little bit of flexibility. And that is a cutting pad. Oh boy. But I posted some photos this morning. This whole passenger side is now done. I keep telling me don't rotate it. I'm not rotating it. Been compounded and polished. I know the light's not too good right there, but folks, I'm telling you, trying to get up kind of close here for you guys, where that, I'd say 99% of all the scratches that were in that paint are now gone. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let me get down here. Earlier today, I had to lay on the floor to get all this, get those little bitty polishers out, even smaller than the ones I showed you a while ago, to get all in here, because these letters are not painted on, they are vinyl. I guess that was just too intricate to try to paint, so they used the old vinyl. I had to get way up under here, and that was laying on the floor. And I had to do some more cleanup there, because when I laid down, I did see some tar and stuff under there that I had missed. But cleaned it up, because you don't want to be polishing under there, which I did do, because if you leave those contaminants and you go to polishing, it will eat your pads up in no time at all. But that was a little bit tedious, So now I'm going to move on and do the front end, the back end, and the driver's side. So the work continues. There's some of my stuff that I was using today. This is a new product I got. It's a pad conditioner. You give it a little spritz on your pad before you put your product on there. It keeps the pad from gunking up, which diminishes its effectiveness. You can see I got some pad cleaner here. I used a pad cleaner between sections. Clean the pad if I'm not going to use my pad cleaner, which is over there. And then dry it, scrub it off, and then I'll put the pad conditioner on, and then put whatever product I'm using at the time, which I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 out here. Oh my, there's my swirl finder and my old school stuff, magnifying glass that I used to look for scratches. As you can see, that thing lights everything up pretty good. And what I do is I inspect it with this light before I ever start working on the panel, and then after every pass, and I wipe off the residue, then I'll inspect every little piece of it again to make sure, check my work as they say, to see if there's any scratches that I still want to improve even more. Takes a long time, folks. Like I said, this is what you call paint correction, not paint enhancement. Paint enhancement would be basically using a all-in-one product or a one-step product. You make several passes back and forth. Get rid of a lot of the scratching, the micro scratching, but that's about it. You know what? That's what most people want. But this car is special. Number one, and number two, when I'm done, not too shortly thereafter, it's going off to a sale. So it is up for sale, you guys. This is a nice car. Oh man, I'm gonna hate to see this beauty leave, but just like in with some of the others. But I'm telling you, it just don't get. That is damn near perfect. Damn near perfect. It's not perfect, but it's damn close. I'm not sure you could get any better than this without damaging or reducing the clear coat to the point where you just don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure this is about as good as this can get. You might could improve 1 or 2 of the deeper scratches with some wet sanding, but I don't think he wanted to spend that money. You know, if you were going to keep the car, I might suggest that. But if you're going to put the car up for sale, that's not usually the level you want to go to. Well, I told the owner earlier, I wished I could have a talk with whoever buffed this car last time. I suspect strongly they use that old adage that one buffer fits all. Because I could readily see where they took a large buffer and they got to these little bitty areas, like right here, these little flat areas, and here, and there's a character line down here. You know, this up under here is a little flat spot. You got a little bitty flat spot there, and you got all kinds of curves, and I can tell where they just turned the big buffer up on its side and kept getting it. Hey, that's pretty typical, but I don't do that. That's why I have all these different size buffers. I have them all the way up to 8.5 inches down to 1 inch, and I have another buffer over on the shelf over there that actually uses a flexible cord or whatever you call it, and you can go down even smaller than that, and it'll use little cone shaped buffing pads and blah blah blah. Use that a lot of times for like under the door handles. Used it inside those numbers and letters there. Use it a lot of times if you're going to be buffing trim like this aluminum / chrome trim, and you're not going to remove it from the car. Of course, the highest and best way is to remove it. I could tell where somebody buffed, just did not take this off and buffed over it, because it's all scratched up. It's the only thing I can think of that would have done that. In the pattern that's on there in certain spots. I could polish that up, Mr. Rick, some, but it's hard to do it properly without removing it from the car. Some of you guys may remember way back when I did that 1966 Volkswagen, I did remove as much of the trim and the body emblems as possible and polished them over there on the wheel. They came out awesome. Sanded them first, then polished them, and then clear coated them. They shined like a new nickel when they left out of here. Anyway, folks, I appreciate you. Thanks for dropping by and watching. Oh boy. Hey, there's a couple of the earlier videos where I actually cranked this bad boy up and let it run. But I think the next thing I'm going to do is probably go hit the passenger side, and then I'll do the front end and the back end. That's usually what I do. No particular reason. That's just the way I do it. You know, in fact, sometimes I start on this side and sometimes I start on that side. Like this one, I started on the hood. A lot of them I start on the roof. Sometimes it just depends on what mood I'm in, what panel I think will be a better test area. But there's really not much rhyme or reason to it. But I do the horizontal surfaces first, because they're most likely going to be the most hammered ones. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But I had all this taped off. I've removed all the tape now, wiped all the polish residue off, and I'm ready to move on to the other side. I appreciate everybody for dropping by. Thanks again. Hope y'all have a great rainy week. Looks like it's going to rain all week, which don't really bother me. Yeah, Sally's not even here. She's up at the shop getting a couple of little things taken care of. But you know what they say, if you're watching this, I guess on YouTube or Facebook, either one, like, tag, share, follow, subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, give me a thumbs down. All the comments I'm loving. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye now.